Hey Scorpio, it's Empress Rose. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings and we take what works and we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength on this reading, you can check your other major placements. Major placements are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, which should be really interesting because this week's readings so far have been like the highest highs and the lowest lows. It could be everything's beautiful. Here's a beautiful, lovely bouquet of happiness for you. And then your rising could be also you were basically in a dungeon pit of hell and you'll get out and the scars will heal over mostly. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of combinations you guys get. All right, Scorpio, we're going to start with the the Botanical Inspirations deck for an intuitive start, for some botanical inspiration. And then we're going to move on to the Golden Tarot for a more traditional tarot spread. And then we'll hit that wild Kuan Yin Oracle deck for a little punctuation at the end of the reading. All right, we have Dahlia. Dignity. A wise man has dignity without pride. A fool has pride without dignity. So Dahlia, dignity. Dahlia is one of my favorite flowers. It's almost as lurid as my lipstick is looking in these bright lights. But at least you can see me and we have lighting. But whew, this is intense for me. I'm going to try to block it out and just focus here though. Dignity. Bellflower. Gratitude. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Melody Beatty. All right, gratitude. I do think it does create a vision for tomorrow, and especially like having happiness for today is makes it much more likely that you'll be happy tomorrow instead of constantly postponing your happiness. Look, we have red rose. It's almost like my lips and these flowers are talking. Red rose, hidden secrets. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Yeah. All right. Dignity, hidden secrets, and gratitude. All right, let's see what we get, Scorpio, in this tarot spread. This is the goal. Oh, we got a overall vibe is 6 of Swords card. So this is leaving a painful situation and moving towards something unknown. But you don't really care at this point because anything's better than what you've come from. So you might have help on this journey. You might have some assistance. This is, you might be protecting somebody or just even your own like wild heart, just mothering yourself and moving to a better place. It might be, so there's a sense of movement to some place that anything's better than this sort of vibe. The unknown. But you have help, you have a fairy captain ushering you across. So there's a movement away from something painful. All right. Scorpio, here's your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Okay, so you're getting one of the dungeon readings, the, oh my gosh, readings. It's not even the cards, it's not even that it's the Golden Tarot and it's medieval and Renaissance art, which tends to have some pretty intense, harsh messages from those time periods, but it's just the cards themselves. Any deck I would be using would be having these cards, with an overall theme of 6 of Swords. So here we have 10 of Wands in your recent past, or what's been going on, what's been happening in this situation, a burden that you need to put down, or you did put down. You found the place where the burdens go down, and you hit the wall of carrying these burdens, and you're carrying them now, and now here you are, you put them down. A burden that was never yours to carry. It got very heavy. You carried it for a very long time. These can often be other people's expectations that we internalize and pull on ourselves. I mean, that is other people's expectations, but we internalize it. But often they've internalized the expectations that you should be doing this, and it goes on into infinity. So back. These expectations. So that's what our work is doing here, is figuring out what is ours to carry and what isn't, because many of us have been carrying things for many generations. You can't even like blame the generation before you or the generation before you or what. You can't even blame. It's just like, because they were just carrying the expectations handed to them, and they were doing what was handed to them, and it just goes on forever. And you might as well just forget about this burden from the past and how long it's been carried forward and where you got it from and who gave it to you, and just deal with what you have today. I mean, you do get to go back and look at, your childhood and things that influenced you. But at some point it's just like, well, the blame game can go on for infinity. So let's just start where we're at and fix it now, and start working on, not fix it, but start working on where we're at right now and moving forward in the direction we want to go. Anyway, so we have this 10 of Wands energy, a long burden. It's the fulfillment of the suit. So it's it's as burdensome as something's getting. Like, this is the maximum amount that you'll be able to carry. This is as far as you'll be able to carry it. And now with these expectations and with this, all of this heaviness, you're done with it. You feel very done with it. Let's see if you get to be done with it. But you want to put it down, and it looks like you did, because it is the 10 of Wands. There's no more wands. There's no more wands. There's no more time. You came to the end of the dock, the shipping dock, where it's time to put these wands down and ship them off. It's time to get rid of them. So, and you came to the end of that. You came to sort of the end of your rope here with the situation, so to speak. You came to the end where you weren't going to do this anymore. This is not okay. I don't want to carry this shit. This is heavy for me, and I don't want to do all this anymore. And so you put the burden down. You stood up and you put it down. And now it's requiring a lot of strength to hold that. This is what's going to happen. If you put down this burden and all these expectations, people get really pissed off, and they're going to try to make you pick this up again, because it's working for them, for you to carry this. And I'm not saying they're evil or vile. It's just the way we are. If something's working for us, we want it to continue going. Although, if it's not working for everybody, then it's not working, right? So if it's not functional. Where were we before my phone did its thing? Anyway, so what we're doing here is strength card. Something's requiring all of your strength, probably to maintain this situation here where you want to put your burden down, right? So where you're ready to get rid of it and you put it down and you were like, I'm not going to do this anymore. But the pressure to continue on is intense, but you are holding strong. It's okay to take care of yourself, and you are holding the line, and it's taking all of your inner strength to not give in again, to not get worried about what they think and what they say and what they want from you, and pleasing them and making everybody happy. And are you bad for not continuing with that? Are you terrible for setting this boundary? It totally looks like you set a boundary, and now the pressure to give in is intense, but you're holding the line. Feels like it's going to go on forever, but you're staying strong, and you're holding yourself together internally. You understand what you've done and how you've changed the dynamic and changed the game. You have, and the pressure to revert back is going to be super intense, but you're holding the line. You have set a boundary and you are holding it. What's on your mind is heartbreak. You've been thinking about heartbreak. There's a lot of heartbreak here. You're holding the line, and maybe you're breaking somebody's heart by this. You had to put up a boundary, and they're very upset. And this 3 of Swords it's a fast-moving heartbreak, and maybe you're hoping that the heartbreak will clear soon, and that it is going to be fast-moving. That could be what you're hoping, is like, okay, I know this hurts, for me to change the dynamic so that it's something that can actually work for me, or work for me at least as well as this is working for you. So maybe you do have this pain and this sadness, and so maybe you're hopeful that it's going to be quick moving, or you're just afraid of it. You're afraid you're going to get hurt. You're afraid that this isn't worth it, that maybe you should just go pick up that burden, because maybe no one will love you and if you don't carry their burdens for them. And so you are, I mean, the reason why it's taking all your strength is that the battle, if the battle were just exterior, that would be one thing. You could be like, whatever. But the battle's also interior. You know, this is kind of breaking your heart too, that this experience is going on and you're worried about it. It's like if you have to put your dog down or something like that, like, okay, this is the end of the line. You can't, you're too sick. You can't go on anymore. So we've had to make this decision. We've had to stay really strong. And yet I'm also breaking my heart. And here's my dog whimpering at me at the vets and that kind of, it's just like, but we have to do this. Maybe not putting him down, because by the time you put him down, they're like, please release me. But maybe just taking them to the vet to get their broken leg set or something, you know, and it's painful. It's hard. Are they ever going to like you again? I mean, this seems a bit bigger than that, but are they ever going to, you know, trust you again? Because you're subjecting them to this much pain. But with this Strength card here and this Ten of Wands here, I'm really seeing that it's healthy. What's going on is healthy, but you might be worried that it's not. You might be worried that the heartbreak might go on forever, that you're breaking your own heart, that you're breaking somebody else's heart by setting this boundary and saying this can't go on anymore. I don't want to do this. So there is sort of, and the swords are truth and communication. So you may be very worried about the painful truths, painful communications, and things piercing the heart and being very difficult. But you're standing strong here. You know, I see you on this sort of pedestal, this concrete or stone pedestal. You're very rooted here. Like you're going to stay here. The storm's going to pass, but you're going to stay here. And I think that might be what you're hoping for, is you're staying put. I mean, with this Strength card here, you're not going anywhere. You're not changing your mind. You're not going to go back, even though it breaks your heart to see this and to see this person reacting this way. You're not going back. You're very strong in this, but the heartbreak and the painful truths and the painful communication, you're worried it's not, you're worried about it. I mean, who wouldn't be? What's at issue here is this Empress card, but we're taking it in the reverse. That's a sense of not having enough. There's never enough. There's never a sense of not being able to be self-sufficient. It is a great single card in the upright as far as being able to be on your own, be single, take care of your needs, know where to go to get your needs taken care of, having finances and abundance. So there's like this might be a fear of being single, or a fear of, or there's just like, it is a fear of being single, or not wanting to be single, or not feeling like you have enough, not feeling like you have the support that you need, not feeling like there's an abundance of support for you to tap into whenever you need it, not feeling there's just not enough. You don't feel like maybe you don't feel like you're enough, or someone's telling you you're not enough and you're not what I wanted now that you're not meeting my needs. That's fine. That's fine. I said something the other day and someone was like, oh, you just like eliminated 90% of the dating pool. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. People I don't want to date now don't want to date me. Huh. Tragedy. Why did that come up with this Empress card? About being single, being enough as you are, and being valued. You might not feel valued. You might not feel like you are enough as you are. And this has you doubting. This has you right here. Like, did I make the right decision? Even though you're staying strong. I see you staying strong with this decision to set this boundary, but it does have you worried. It does have you concerned, and maybe even you are experiencing a lack of material goods and a real lack of something in reality because of this decision you made. They're like, oh, you're not going to do this anymore? Well, I'm not going to do that anymore. And now you're like, oh, great. Okay, that's fine. I can survive this. But there's a sense of not having a resource that you were expecting to have, or needing to have, or not having the resources. And this is why it's taking so much inner strength. Maybe you don't have the support that you have, or even the self-esteem. I mean, the Empress is really about a strong sense of self-esteem and self-worth, and being able to really, and so maybe this is creating a crisis of self-esteem for you, and a sense of self-worth where you're starting to doubt yourself, because this Three of Swords is in here with this heartache. You're starting to maybe doubt yourself, even though I still see you staying strong here. In your environment, you have the King of Wands. This could represent someone that you're dealing with, or someone that's coming into your life right now. And it sits right under this Ten of Wands. So, and he's looking right up at these Ten of Wands. He doesn't look happy about it. So this could be the person, male or female, in your life who's in charge of something. They are an authority figure, or at least they think they're an authority figure, and they don't like that you've set this boundary. It could also be someone coming in to help you who's very charismatic, very in tune with their intuition, very intuitive, very passionate, and caring, and inspired and creative. And they could be coming in. I don't get any vibe that they're here to help you. I get the vibe that they keep coming back, and they keep coming in to demand that you pick up these wands again. The King of Wands would like someone to carry his wands for him. I mean, normally the King of Wands comes in as really positive, but then the overall sense of this reading is this Six of Swords. So this King of Wands, I think he's a little pissed off about the boundary that you set. He or she is a little pissed off about the boundary that you set. They did need a servant to carry all their wands for them. You don't want to do that anymore. And now he's got his own wand in his hand, and he's like, well, I don't like this. He does not like it. Yeah, normally he's coming out, he's just feeling really different. Normally he's very inspired, charismatic, and he might be inspired and charismatic, but just not accepting this boundary and not okay with it right now. Everyone else may see him as an inspiring, charismatic leader, but the experience you're having is starting to, and maybe you feel isolated with this Empress card, because this King of Wands, so many people seem to like him that you may be feeling isolated and being like the only person to ever tell him no, or her no, to ever tell this person no. Your to-do list. This is really interesting. This Dignity card. Because this felt very undignified. Like you were somebody's servant is how you felt. And there wasn't a lot of dignity. It wasn't, people talk about the dignity of work. There's no inherent dignity in work. I mean, there's a lot of situations all the world over. Millions of people are in very undignified work just because they were born here and they have to survive somehow. So it's interesting that this dignity, maybe you're taking back your dignity here, and it's been, because there is movement away from something. There's movement away from this Ten of Wands, and this King of Wands doesn't like it. Seven of Swords. This is about this is really fascinating that this is in your to-do list. I always wondered what would happen if this came into your to-do list. But I've had several readings lately where I'm starting to see the Seven of Swords as a tactic, where if you can't win. So normally it's lying and cheating, withholding communication, but there is a time to go silent. There is a time to cut someone off. Especially after you've communicated quite a bit to them and you've told them where you stand and what you are and are not going to do. There does come a time where you don't need to discuss it anymore. Like, look, we've got the Six of Swords and now we've got the Seven of Swords. Just leave. Like, I'm getting like that Paul Simon song, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Just slip out the back, Jack. You don't need to engage anymore. It looks like you've already engaged plenty, and this person is putting huge amounts of pressure to put you back. So I would not advocate cutting somebody off, but there is a sense of this person isn't taking no for an answer, and it's time to it's time to do something else. It's time, I mean, because normally lying and withholding information is about not allowing the other person to have agency over their life. If you lie to someone, then they don't have the full information to make the decisions that they need to make. If you withhold information, withholding is verbal abuse, right? But there does come a time when you get to say, I'm not engaging with this anymore because you're just using this situation to continue to hurt me and to doubt me. It's not supportive. I don't feel supported here. This is taking all my inner strength. And maybe it's time for you to take your inner strength and go. Like because we have two cards of you taking the swords and leaving. Taking the swords is your communication, your ideas, your efforts. If this is a work situation, you're sick of someone stealing your ideas. You're sick of someone saying like, oh, yeah, I thought of that, or I did this project, and you're like, oh my God, I did this project. I did the project from start to finish. You maybe did 2 emails. So just getting sick of it and taking your ideas and going. I mean, the Seven of Swords is usually this cheating, sneaky energy, but you may need to subvert this situation here because this person has a lot of control and keeps trying to get you back. You may just need to, and maybe not forever, maybe just for a time, take a break, cut off the communication or something. I cannot believe I'm saying that because I think that that's very rude, especially with no explanation. But oftentimes when someone's, there's just this boundary crossing that's taking all of your effort to hold on to this boundary. And this person's not taking no for an answer. At that point, when you've made your ideas very clear, when you've stepped up, you're kind of feeling out on your own here. And it's taking all of your inner strength. And maybe it's just time to end the battle. End the battle by any means necessary. This is a really strange general reading because I do not think that every Scorpio in the world needs to, or watching this needs to end some sort of relationship by just walking away from it. But this is just walk away because we've got also the Six of Swords. This is some kind of situation you just need to walk away. Don't even engage with it anymore. You've done what you can. This has taken all of your strength. You didn't want to hurt anybody. You're not feeling supported, and someone keeps trying to get this boundary to get you to do this thing again, and you're just be done. Just be done. There is a time and a place for that. I can't speak to each individual situation, but at least explore some options for getting away from a situation that is not healthy for you and is harmful and hurtful. And you'll have help then. You don't have help now as long as you're staying here, that you're getting this Empress reverse. You're not supported now. But as soon as you start leaving, the support shows up. It's a very strong message. I would not be surprised if it is not for everybody. And then your luck changes. There's something here that changes your fortunes. Like you have the wheel of fortune turns and churns and opens up something for you. And I think this help comes in where right now you're feeling very isolated. But once you get going and start making the first steps away from the situation, like really severing the situation by whatever you need to do to sever it, because this is not. It may take all of your strength to do this. You may not be, especially if you're the person who usually carries other people's burdens and takes on other people's burdens. It's going to take all of your strength, the last bits that you have left, to do the Seven of Swords, Six of Swords movement, this slipping out the back jack and moving on to a better situation that's healthier for you. And we want to communicate with people. We want to work with people. But I just don't see that as an option in this reading. And then your luck changes. Wheel of Fortune, things outside of your control come in and help you and assist you. You'll have some support coming in as soon as but you have to make the first steps. And some sort of lucky thing happens, or some sort of luck coming at you in the future, which is good because the rest of this reading is bullshit. I mean, not bullshit. I mean, thank you, Tarot, for this reading. You're super appreciated, but it's hard. Okay, you have creative power. She's ribbon dancing off in Mongolia. The creative power, the mind often wants to see and know exactly what is around the corner, but to manifest, we have to give up certainty and embrace the creative process. Choosing to live creatively will bring you more joy and success than any amount of certainty ever could. That's this card, basically. Leaving the devil you don't know and allowing for uncertainty. You know, in some decks, there's like a storm out at sea and you're going into the storm. That's because the devil you know has become much worse than any devil that you don't know. You're like, I'll take my chances out in that storm. Thank you. I will leave this safe shore, which is not safe for me anymore. So that's what I feel that this card is a confirmation of that. All right, Scorpio. Well, despite this, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, that too. And week, and that you're full of strength and you get your cup refilled. You are enough. Yeah. You're enough. All right. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. And I do personal readings also. So if you want one, go ahead and email me.